Well, welcome back to the Fearless Bible Study here online. We're coming up to Palm Sunday, and we're going to be celebrating the time when Jesus came into Jerusalem, when he came into uh, this Holy Week, when everything would happen, when he would have the Last Supper, when he would go to the cross and be crucified, and when he would eventually die and be buried, and 3 days later he would rise again. One of the people that we talk about after the crucifixion is Thomas. Thomas can't believe after the resurrection that Jesus has come back to life. He says that unless I see the wounds in his hands and I put my hand in the wound in his side, I can't believe. But there's another story about Thomas that doesn't paint him as doubting Thomas, but instead shows him as the fearless Thomas, the Thomas who's willing to do anything for Jesus. It's when Jesus finds out that Lazarus has died and that Lazarus had been in the tomb, and Jesus said, "We're going to go back and we're going to raise him, and I want to see Lazarus and I want to see Mary and Martha." Jesus knows that going back there is going to start into motion this whole chain of events that would eventually lead to Holy Week, would eventually lead to his own death. And the disciples see that, and they know that. And after some convincing and some talking with them, finally Thomas, out of all the disciples, Thomas comes out and he says, "Well, let us go also, that we may die with him." Thomas is convinced that that's going to be his fate if he goes to Jesus. Who's this? How has this later become doubting Thomas? How does this guy end up being the one that everybody says is the big doubter and the faithless one of the group? It seems that he has more faith than anyone when he knows he gets to go with Jesus. Where are the places in your life where you are able to look at Jesus, where you are able to look and say, "Let me go also, that I might die with you, Jesus, that I might be able to give my life for you, that I would sacrifice with you"? You can't see how things are going to turn out well. You can't see how things are going to possibly be able to work out. But somehow you have the faith that overcomes your fear to let you go as long as you get to go with Jesus. That's what I want you to be thinking about this week, and what I want you to be thinking about as you do this Bible study.